Do yourself a really big favor and fully grasp the concept of perspective. A few years ago, before I started my transition and I was still working at my dad's office, I remember a coworker had given me 2 examples of perspective that I will never forget. The first one is a story. So this guy goes to the pumpkin patch with him and his family, and as they're in the checkout getting ready to buy the pumpkins that they have picked, this man comes up to him and taps his shoulder and says, "Don't forget to carve the pumpkin at the bottom." And my coworker was puzzled and didn't really understand, just said, "Okay." And as he's driving home and getting ready to cut this pumpkin with his family and his children, he's thinking about what this guy said. He's like, why would this guy tell me to cut the pumpkin at the bottom? My entire life, I've cut the pumpkin on the top. That's what everyone does. You cut the pumpkin on the top. What was this dude talking about? So out of curiosity, of course, this guy tries it. So he cuts the pumpkin at the bottom, and as soon as he does that and he pulls the piece that he cut out, all of the gunk and all of the seeds just fall out of the pumpkin. He didn't have to scrape it, he didn't have to pull it all out, it just came out. And he thought to himself, well, that was easier than usual. So after he, scrapes it completely clean from residue or whatever, and he's getting ready to put the candle in the pumpkin, he sets the candle on the pumpkin, the piece that was cut out, and he just takes the pumpkin by the handle, the top of the head, and sets it on top. Instead of having to take the candle and reach inside the pumpkin, you're more likely to get burned that way. And again, he thought to himself, wow, that was way easier. And so the moral of that story is just because you're doing something a certain way your entire life doesn't mean that there's not another way to do something. And that just because cutting the pumpkin at the bottom was easier, you can still cut it at the top. Hell, you can even cut it at the back or the front, however you want to cut it. It's still getting the job done. It's just in a different way. There's no right or wrong way to go about it. For his other example, he pulls out a card and he puts it in between me and another coworker. And he asks us both to read to him or what is on that side of the card, okay? So if I were to ask you, what is it that you see on this card? You're gonna tell me that it's yellow. It's a get out of jail free card. There's a bird cage, the old man, community chest, all that. When you ask me what this card says, I'm gonna say, well, it's white, it's got some numbers on it. So who was right? Who was wrong? So again, the point of that example is that there's no right or wrong. You weren't wrong about what you were seeing on your side, and I wasn't wrong about what I was seeing on my side. Everyone should have knowledge of perspective. Everyone should be applying it every day when they interact with somebody else. It's a good thing to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It allows you to be empathetic, compassionate, and that's what we need in this world. Compassion, empathy. Closed-minded people are the people that aren't able to see perspective. Those are the people that are lacking empathy, that are lacking compassion. You don't want to be that person. You want to be an empathetic, compassionate person who's able to see things from other points of views. It only gives you an advantage. It benefits you. I wish you guys nothing but peace, love, and happiness. If you have anything you would like me to talk about, please comment below. Like this video if it helps you. Subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. And I'll talk to you guys next week. I love you lots and lots and lots. Bye.